want to talk about what are the key benefits that your company and others like yours are getting from the use of business aviation. We talked about time, but you and I have talked about efficiency and city pairs and security and all of those things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. We basically, our biggest value is time, right? We buy time. It's an expensive proposition. You can certainly look at the math of all of it and decide that it's too expensive. You can look at the value proposition of the time that we save and maybe start to decide, like, man, that's really worth it, right? So we just did a study of our flight department and the time value that we save over the airlines, right? So our methodology was we looked at every leg that we had and we would compare the time that it took for us to fly from our airport to the point of destination compared to what the airlines do in drive times and wait times and all of that. So over the course of the year, we saved somewhere in the number of 2,700 hours.
Wow.
Which, if the math is right, is somewhere between like about 111 weeks, right, for the 5-day work week, or 111 days, and then that equates to like 22 weeks or so for the 5-day work week.
So they're saving that much time.
We're saving that much time for our people.
Wow.
Right? Now, how you equate that, and if you want to put math to it, like the common thing that the industry seems to do is they'll look at the compensation package of the people that we fly and try to break that down into a day or an hourly rate or whatever. That's a good method,
Yeah.
right? That's fair, and I agree. It's pretty dry, and but it makes sense. But I like to personalize it.
Yeah.
And really what our value brings is the ability to get you home to your kids' performances or volleyball games or basketball games or just to be present in your family.
Yeah. And that's tough to quantify, right? So we're trying to put a value on your time. And that's different for everybody.
Right.
But to your point, when we talk about the ability to get you home at night, so you can, case in point, one metric that I like to tell people is there are 5,000 airports, public use airports in the United States. Only about 500 of them are served by commercial aviation. So the savings, the time savings that you're talking about is if you can only go to those 500 airports, now you've got to get a car service or you got to rent a car or something like that. And you're reaching rural communities, right?
Exactly. Right.
You don't have your plant in the heart of New York. You don't have your plant in the heart of Dallas. You have your plants in rural America, and you can reach those destinations more efficiently and save more time through business aviation.
Yeah, absolutely. We might fly to 90 different destinations a year, typically. Maybe about 10 of those are the major city centers,
Yeah.
right? And the big airports. So 80 of those is rural America, is rural South America, is rural Europe. It's where our facility locations are, and it's where our customer locations are, and we can get there efficiently. We can do multiple stops in a day. We could do 3 or 4 different stops to visit plants in a day and do it very effectively.
What's interesting to me is we're talking about domestic right now, and you're flying all over the world. So with your global aircraft, I think about like the time savings is even exponential when you talk about that, because your airplane can go so far. But not only that, your team, whoever's flying on the airplane, can now sleep on the airplane while you're en route to your destination. They're well rested. They can land and go straight to a meeting and be completely fresh for that. But internationally, I got to imagine it's even a bigger time savings.
Well, absolutely, absolutely, and it's a very effective and efficient use of time. Like to your point, we fly those trips through the night, so our team can sleep, and then they just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So we don't lose a day, and what's very interesting over the years in seeing our folks do this is they don't have a day to give.
Yeah.
right? So they really need to be effective and efficient in the use of their time, and that's what we provide for them.